GoForThe2.com. I'm back with another preview. Going to talk about the Florida Gators and the Miami Hurricanes. It's a marquee matchup. Can the U get the upset victory and bring themselves back to prominence under Al Golden? We're going to have to see. It's another SEC-ACC matchup. Last week, Clemson got the better of Georgia. Can Miami get the better of their in-state rival this week? We're going to have to see how this plays out. I'm going to have a preview a little bit later in the week, so stay with me. Let's look at the Gators right now. Very solid victory at home, 24-6 over a very potent Toledo Rocket offense. A lot of people don't realize that Toledo Rocket offense had four big playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. They shut down quarterback Terrence Owens. They shut down David Fluellen, the running back. Fluellen last year, 1,498 yards. At one point, throughout the 10th game of the season, Fluellen was leading the nation in rushing. He had an ankle injury, caused him to miss some time at the end of last season, but he did rush for 1,498 yards, so it was a big play. Two big play wide receivers the Gators shut down last week, Bernard Reedy and Alonzo Russell. Both of those players combined for 2,000 yards receiving last season. So it's a dominating defensive performance if you're a Gator fan. Look for them to duplicate that performance this week. Offensively, for the Gators, what can you say? Jeff Driscoll, very efficient, 153 yards through the air, one touchdown, no interceptions. The Gators, though, rushed for 262 yards on the ground. Led by Mack Brown, he carried the rock 25 times, 112 yards, and two big touchdowns. That was the difference in the victory over Toledo. Trey Burton, very good day. 5 catches, 69 yards. But the Gator offense relies on that big, heavy SEC offensive line, and look for Will Muschamp and the offensive staff to use the same type of game plan against a suspect Miami Hurricane defense. We'll see how it plays out next week. Let's look at the Hurricanes right now. Miami, dominating home performance over Florida Atlantic. They're a very explosive offense led by their senior quarterback, Stephen Morris. He threw for 160 yards through the air, one touchdown, one interception, but their running back, Duke Johnson, the sophomore, 19 carries, 186 yards. He's the go-to guy. He's a potential Heisman candidate, and look for Al Golden and the offensive staff to get the ball in Duke Johnson's hands as much as possible in order for them to pull out the upset. When you look at Miami's offense, if they are to pull off the upset, they need their wide receiver, Philip Dorsett, to get involved and stretch the defense for Miami. Dorsett last week, a non-factor in the win over Florida Atlantic. They're going to need him to step up and make plays to loosen up that secondary so that Morris can get the ball over the top. If they can get the ball deep on Miami, that'll open up the running game for Duke Johnson, and that's the key for the Hurricanes. Defensively for the Hurricanes, Denzel Perryman is a must in this ballgame. He's a linebacker. Last year, he was having a great season early on. When he got hurt, though, the Hurricanes faltered. He's an emotional leader. You're talking about a Hurricane defense, though, that gave up 133 yards rushing to Florida Atlantic last week. So they need to step up against a very solid rushing attack in Florida. When you look at Miami's defense, last season they struggled. They struggled against Georgia Tech against the run. They struggled against Notre Dame against the run. And they struggled against North Carolina against the run, giving up over 200 yards per game. So they're going to be facing a very heavy offensive line in Florida. Florida going to look to wear them down. They wore down LSU last season. They wore down South Carolina. The same type of game plan. So look for Will Muschamp and the Gators to try and do the same against a suspect front four for the Hurricanes. That's the matchup. If you're a Miami fan, if you cannot stop the run in this ball game, you're going to get blown out. So that's going to be the matchup. And look for Perryman. Denzel Perryman is a must on the defensive side of the ball for Miami. It's a great matchup. It's got two great coaches, Muschamp and Golden. We'll see who wins a little bit later in the week. So stay with me. I want you to follow me at ncaablitz.com, GoForThe2.com, and you could also follow me on my weekly blog, Talk Radio show, go to blogtalkradio.com. The show is called the NCAA Weekly Blitz. It's on. Check the schedule. Last week, former Georgia Bulldog wide receiver Corey Allen joined me. He's my guest this Friday at 2:30 p.m. So stay with me. I'm also contributing to rantsports.com for the MAC Conference. So I'm all over the place. It's going to be a great college football season. I can't wait. So stay with me all season long. Don't forget, this Friday, blogtalkradio.com, the NCAA Weekly Blitz show. Former Georgia Bulldog wide receiver Corey Allen joins me. It's going to be great. Stay tuned for the preview and prediction of this ball game.